Chrissy, I had an estate planning appointment yesterday with she's a long time client. She's 92 years old, and she showed up with her son, and it's time to redo her wills. Last time I did them was many years ago. She's had a child who's passed away since then, and sit down in of course, she and her son both come into the appointment, and we start to talk about what happens to her wealth when she passes away. And I said, well, your daughter's passed away. Do you want her share that would have gone to her? Do you want to go to her 3 children? Yeah, I think I'd like that. And then the son trips in, no, Mom, that's not what we talked about at home. No, that's not what we talked about. And you can tell he's getting a little bit angry and upset about the whole thing. Well, you know what we have to do. Son, you got to get up. There's the door. You're out of here. You go wait in the lobby while I talk to your mom. And it's exactly the conversation that you might think. I mean, she's sharp as a tack. Oh, he really wants me to leave it all to him and his brother, to not leave anything to my daughters to see children. And, oh, yeah, I guess I need to do what he wants me to do. And I'm thinking, no, we're going to do what you want to do. This is what you want to do.
Exactly.
So it's just funny that people would come in here and think that they're going to bully their parent in front of us, and we're going to stand by and allow that to happen?
Never.
No, not ever. No. So just people out there listening to us saying, well, God, Tom, that must only happen, once every few years. No, really, it's once every few months, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as soon as I have a child walking in with their parent, my radar is up, listening for the little intricacies, and it starts by, we're asking basic questions.
Right.
What do you own? How many children do you have? And first of all, we want our clients to be answering those questions, but sometimes the kid will chirp in.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's 86. She's got 3 kids, and here's their name. I'm going, no, I need your mom to answer those questions for me.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, and sometimes it's perfectly legitimate, and I get it, and I understand why Mom is doing this. And sometimes we know that she is being pressured into it.
Correct.
We're not going to stand by and let that happen.
Absolutely. It is really a good thing, though, to me, when that does happen. We don't want it to have to happen, but when it does, it really is better for Mom that that adult child did come in, because we then are able to observe for ourselves, and we know how to help Mom.
Yeah.
The harder part is when they don't come in, because there can be things happening behind the scenes, and if we don't see that and we don't know that, we're not able to give the proper advice.
Yeah. And there are certainly times when people often ask us, Tom, do we have to leave something to one or more of our children? And here in the state of Florida, you have no legal obligation to leave anything to your adult children. And so sometimes when we have clients that come in and say, Tom, we are not going to leave anything to our daughter, Susie, make up a name. Well, we at Olsen Law Group, we're going to ask why. And then in our database, we're going to make notes about why Mom's not leaving anything to Susie, because then when Mom passes away and Susie goes out and hires a lawyer and writes us, Olsen Law Group, a letter and says, well, God, you wrote the will for Mom. Why she didn't leave anything to Susie? You must have drafted it wrong. You must have got it all wrong, Tom. It's all your fault. And we go right into our notes. Well, here's why. She loaned Susie money and Susie never paid her back. She bought Susie a house while Mom was still alive. She, put Susie through medical school. She didn't do that for any of her kids. I mean, there's a whole myriad of reasons.
Absolutely.
And some of them are completely legitimate.
Correct.
We just want to know what the reasons are. And we make it in our notes. And so that when that happens, and this happens on a regular basis, when I get that letter I got one the other day, and the lawyer says, you did a will for Mary. You're now on notice. Do not destroy or delete any of your records, because Mary's daughter is going to be suing to set aside the will that you did for her. And of course we don't. We're not going to destroy anything.
Right,
we're not going to
right,
change it.
yes.
There's no reason for us to do
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
But it just goes to show that it's That is the mindset of kids when they have been omitted and disinherited from the will.
Correct. Correct.
Now, when you omit or disinherit a will from the child, there's nothing within the law that says you have to put that language in your will, but we do at the Olsen Law Group.
Correct.
We put language in there that says, I have specifically omitted my daughter Susie for my own reasons. So we're not opening the door for Susie to say, oh, Mom just forgot she had a daughter named Susie. That's why I'm not in there. So
Yes.
not obligated to do it legally, but we do it as good practice.
Yes, correct. And again, when it is done with us or any other estate planning lawyer and you do it right and you put it in writing in a proper legally executed will, it means that it will stand up.
Yep, it will. When people on a regular basis call us and say, Tom, my mom has passed away. She left everything to my siblings. She didn't leave anything to me. I want to challenge that will. Well, first thing I say is send me a copy of that will.
Exactly.
If it looks professional, if it was prepared by a lawyer, witnessed by the lawyer, witnessed by the lawyer's staff, it's rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a handwritten will and it leaves everything to the neighbor and the neighbor's friends and family witness that will, it's automatically suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'll challenge a will when the time comes. But that's really where it starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important, again, for people to understand that so that they know how to do things best for themselves, meaning mom and dad, and their family.
You know, kind of on a similar topic over the years, and you wouldn't think this would happen, but on a regular basis, I have people that come in and say something like this: Tom, I've got 3 children. I don't want to leave everything to my oldest child and let him split it up with his siblings.
Oh, we hear that a lot.
I won't abide by it. I won't let it go.
Right.
I said, do you want your wealth to go equal to your 3 children? Yes. Well,
Okay.
then we need to write your will that way.
That's-
Everything's going equal to your 3 kids.
Good for you. And of course, I do the same as you. I won't let it go.
Yeah.
To the point where is that in some that were that insistent is that I want them to do ultimately what the parents want to do. However, if I don't feel comfortable doing it, I want them to do it with somebody else.
Yeah, I know that you've literally turned down some clients because they just won't follow your advice.
Well, and again, not follow it, but in other words, if we don't feel comfortable on why and what they're doing, we want it for them, so we want them to be able to do it what's best, how they feel best to do it. We just feel that it's important to try to, again, think about the words of the client. It's one thing for the client to say, I only want to leave to this child.
Yeah.
That's absolutely. But when they're speaking the words, here's the part where we feel uncomfortable. When they're saying, I want it to go to all 3, but I'm only going to leave it to 1 to divide up.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And sometimes they'll speak the words, I'm going to leave it to my oldest child to split it up equally between the 3 kids. Sometimes they'll speak the words, I'm going to let him decide how to split it up between all of them.
Correct.
Oh, my goodness.
Correct. That's the uncomfortable part for us.
Looking for trouble.
Correct. To say, I'm only going to leave it to 1 and let them do it the way that I want to do. Well, the way you want to do should be in writing.
Yeah. So we've done thousands and thousands of wills and trusts for people over the years, and everybody's a little bit different. But we give our clients the best advice possible.
Absolutely.
And our goal is for the children of our clients to make things simple, easy, inexpensive, and help them to avoid arguments. And when it's all said and done, the children are still speaking and friendly with each other.
Exactly.
And that's asking a lot these days.
Give parents peace of mind and make it simple for their adult children.